evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. You have found our alternative programming to football tonight, right here in the back room. I'm your host for the evening, Hank Philippi Ryan, the USA Today best-selling author of 14 novels of suspense. The brand new one is The House Guest, which is just out this week. I am still, oh my goodness, thank you for those little applauses. Thank you. I am still floating from that, and it starred review from Library Journal, which called it binge-worthy, and a Publisher's Weekly rave that says Ryan is a master of suspense. So that is marvelous. It's sort of Gaslight meets Thelma and Louise meets Strangers on a Train, but not exactly in the way you would predict. So thank you so much for all your support of my book. I'm also the investigative reporter for Boston's Channel 7 television and won 37 Emmys for investigative reporting. I welcome you all here tonight to the back room. So we have four fabulous authors for you this evening. Some of them you may know of, some of you may not. We love having debut authors. We love having new authors. We love having authors that you absolutely adore. And there is a whole array of them this evening. So let me introduce them to you now. Our first author is Yasmin Angoe. Hey, Yas, wave, wave. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm a little loopy, as I'm sure you can tell from book tour, but you know, nobody will notice. Yasmin Angoe is the Anthony-nominated author of the critically acclaimed thriller Her Name is Night and They Come at Night of the Nina Knight series. She is a first-generation Ghanaian American, and in 2020 was the recipient of the Eleanor Taylor Bland Award for Emerging Writers of Color from Sisters in Crime. And that is a very big deal and quite the honor. Her Name is Night was an Amazon Best Book of the Month for mystery, thriller, and suspense, and an editor's pick. Her Name is Night has appeared in the New York Times Book Review, OprahDaily.com, Pop Sugar, Nerd Daily, and you name it, it's been there. Her Name is Night has been optioned for TV and is currently in development for a series, and we'll all be watching for that. She and her blended family of 6 live in South Carolina. Welcome, Yas.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hello. I was just in South Carolina for about 20 hours. It was great. I absolutely loved it.
Right, you were in Greenville, I remember. I saw.
Yeah, in Greenville. It was great. I loved it. A wonderful bookstore, Fiction Addiction. And we had a terrific time. If you haven't been there, please try that. It's marvelous. Our next author is the fabulous JT Ellison. Hey, JT.
Hi.
JT is the New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of more than 25 novels and the Emmy Award-winning co-host of the literary show on TV, A Word on Words. She also writes urban fantasy under the pen name Joss Walker. With millions of books in print, her work has won critical acclaim and prestigious awards. Her titles have been optioned for television and published in 28 countries. JT lives with her husband and twin kittens. Everybody's going, oh, nobody cares about anything else. Twin kittens in Nashville, where she is hard at work on her next novel. Twin kittens.
And one of them is like circling me like a shark crying. So I'm really glad I've got the headphones on because all I can hear is, whoa.
Oh, you want to bring the kitty on. We welcome Pat.
She's I'm sure she will join us at some point.
Your books are so gorgeous too.
Thank you.
Our next author is Shannon Kirk. Shannon Kirk is the award-winning international best-selling author of Method 1533, The Extraordinary Journey of Vivienne Marshall, which was awarded the Literary Classics Seal of Approval, In the Vines, Gretchen, and the soon-to-be-released Ten Kill, her first legal thriller. I have read this book. It is unbelievable. It's new. If you don't know Shannon Kirk, this is the time to start. Ten Kill is unbelievable. Shannon has a little plug there for my darling Shannon. Shannon has also authored several short stories in thriller, mystery anthologies, as well as a book of poems. Her debut, Method 1533, has been translated in over 20 languages and secured a film option. When not writing, Shannon is the global head of e-discovery at AmLaw 100 International firm. She lives north of Boston with her husband and son. So see that the array of bios that we have at this event, it is quite amazing. Shannon, when does Ten Kill come out?
April 11th.
April 11th. Do not miss it, you all. So many good books here. And our fourth author for this evening is Connor Sullivan. Welcome, Connor. Connor attended the University of Southern California, where he was recipient of the Edward W. Moses Award for Creative Writing. During college, he worked for Warner Brothers, reading screenplays. That sounds so exciting. Before relocating with his family to the Gallatin Valley in Montana. Sleeping Bear, his debut, won the 2022 Barry Award, which is a huge deal, for Best First Mystery Crime Novel. Wolf Trap is his second book, and we welcome you all here today. And we will start, as always, with our not quite 20 questions. These are the special questions on our wonderful backroom cards. And we'll ask, they're not quite 20 because that's too many, but we'll ask 3 questions. So 12 questions. Did you see I just did math? To each author, to get you to know them a little bit and give you some fodder for asking them questions in the back room, because that is the point of the back room, is for you to ask questions of these authors. Connor, you're getting the first questions. So I don't know how this happened, but what was your first job?
My first job was landscaping and lawn mowing when I was probably 13 or 14.
And where was
around
this?
This was just around Bozeman, Montana, where I grew up, and I still am right now.
And did you like it?
No, I did not.
So it was a chore.
It was, yeah. But it was a first job. So
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody has to do something. I worked at the Dairy Queen. That was my first job.
nice.
That was not a chore. It was not a chore. Yes. What was your favorite book as a child?
That's a good question. My favorite book as a child was I really loved the Christopher Pike books. So Spellbound was one, and then another would be To Kill a Mockingbird. I just really loved that book. So yeah, those are the 2, one horror and one not horror.
But To Kill a Mockingbird is for how old were you when you read that?
I can't even tell you how old I was, but I feel like I was in middle school. Well, that's my favorite, but I was in middle school and read it, and it just resonated with me.
Yeah, sure.
And then because it was for English class, and then we watched the movie, and then it just really hit home. And so that's always Boo Radley. I just loved Boo Radley, and I just wanted him to be my best friend because I just felt for him. And everything. So yeah, that really, resonated with me. And then my second favorite would be Spellbound. I don't know why it was about werewolves, and I really like werewolves. So yeah. So
and who doesn't like a good werewolf?
Exactly.
I can't hear the music from To Kill a Mockingbird. I just start crying immediately.
Right. It just grips you, So yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, do you remember your first pet?
Yes. My first pet was Gladys, a beautiful kitty. Very much remember her. I miss her. Can I also answer the question about my favorite book growing up?
Sure. And
Okay.
what was your first pet, and what was your favorite book growing up?
Okay, thanks. The Mummy Market, and the reason why I'm putting a plug in, you can see my rant on Goodreads under my profile, because this book is amazing. It should be a classic. They made a movie out of it even, but it is out of print. So you can see my years-long rant in trying to get it republished.
The Mummy Market?
By Nancy Brellis.
Okay, so put that in the chat, and we'll all just inundate somebody with that.
I will.
JT, are you superstitious?
Oh my God, yes, I'm Italian. It's like a prerequisite. Yes, I throw salt over my shoulder. I lift my feet up when I go over railroad tracks. I will not walk under a ladder. I blow kisses at yellow lights.
Blow kisses at yellow lights? Wait, what's that?
So it won't turn red while you're going through the intersection.
So it's like, thank you, I love you.
Please don't turn red.
That's an Italian superstition.
I don't know if that one's probably just one of mine.
My favorite answer to this, I've asked this of people
you name
before,
it. I'm all in.
But I've asked this of people in the back room before, and someone, who was it, said, I said, are you superstitious? And she said, well, I'm not superstitious, but I'm kind of stitious.
That's a good one.
Isn't that great? I loved that.
That's cute.
and we've asked each author to bring a novel or a book from some author that they admire or a book that they admire. Connor, what book have you brought for us?
So I brought my friend's book, Damascus Station. It's by David McCluskey. This is probably the best spy novel I've ever read. It came out last year. David McCluskey, a former CIA guy, he wrote this story that takes place in around 2011, 2012 in Syria. That's kind of based off of his life. It's a love story. It's a spy story. It's so well written. It's amazing. Check this book out. It's one of my favorites.
Perfect. We will put, and I know all of you are writing this down like mad because that sounds amazing. We will put a list, Magic Tom will put a list of all of these novels and all of our authors' novels in the chat. So you will be able to click, click, click and get them right away. Yasmin, what book are you bringing tonight?
Okay, so mine is called Blood Debts, and this is what the cover will look like. Because this is an arc of it, and it is by Terry J. Benton Walker. It is actually a YA book, but it is so good. And to cleanse your palate a little bit. It is a mix of magic. It's about a curse that a family has, a family legacy, and I love a good family legacy story. It's a bit of a thriller, so it's got everything in there. The family is cursed, and the 16-year-old twin brother and sister have to go and solve the curse and figure out, who killed their father and who cursed their mother, and they have to get their legacy back. So this book comes out April 2020, April of this year by my good friend Terry, and it is a read that will put you on a ride. Get it for a loved one if you're not into YA or not supernatural, but magical stuff or things like that. But I think you'll love it. So try it out.
That sounds great. That was my favorite kind of book growing up too, as a kid, was that sort of the kids get together and solve the crime with magic. I love this. The Edward Eager books, if you know those. And the bear chat is going crazy now. Thank you, Connor, in the chat here. Judy says we have bears in Chicago. They're pretty tame these days. That's, the football. Okay, fine. Susan Bickford says, if it's black, fight back for the bears. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, say goodnight. So we could talk about that for days, whatever know about bears. Susan, without you, what would we know? John says, great book. And I think that's about Damascus Station. And Janine says, my kind of read. Shannon, what book are you suggesting today?
So The Incarnations by Susan Barker. I am obsessed with this book. It has a couple different covers, by the way. I guess all I'll say is it is about soulmates over the course of thousands of years. And it is incredibly dark, incredibly well written. I never, ever, ever reread books. I have read this book 4 times. It is mind-blowing. That's all I'll say. You should look it up. I've gotten a few friends hooked on it, and they are equally obsessed. So my only caution is that it is pretty brutal in some parts and gory. And like I said, dark, but other than that, there's also some really funny scenes in here and lines that make me laugh out loud every time I read it.
Thank you for the warning. Everybody else, rush to The Incarnations. That sounds amazing. We've lost Yaz. I know that Tom in the back room is getting her back. Let me know, Tom, if there is a problem with that. JT, what book are you bringing to us?
Hi. So Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. So it is obviously, it has witches, the spells and everything, but it is such a background to the story. This is actually a cozy mystery. It is set on the island of Sorsha off in Puget Sound. And it is just a perfectly constructed mystery. It has a longing romance of young lovers who were torn apart and are now faced with his mother has passed away and he has come back to the island to bury her. And he is not only her lost love, but he is reviled in the community for what happened the night that he left. And nobody has seen him since. And it's pitch perfect.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.